Most traders spend years searching for the perfect indicator, the secret strategy, the magic system. But millionaire traders know a deeper truth: success in the market is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. It's not about predicting the market. It's about controlling yourself. When you master your emotions, discipline, and thinking patterns, you stop gambling and start building wealth. A millionaire trader does not react. He responds. That difference may sound small, but in the world of trading, it is the line between survival and destruction. Reaction is instant, emotional, and uncontrolled. Response is thoughtful, measured, and intentional. When the market drops suddenly, beginners feel their stomach tighten. Their heart rate increases. They see red numbers and immediately think, "I'm losing everything." So they close the trade in panic, often at the worst possible moment. When the market spikes upward, the same traders feel excitement and urgency. They jump in late, chasing the move, afraid of missing out. In both situations, emotion is in control. But a disciplined mind understands a powerful truth. Every impulsive decision has a cost. Fear costs profits. Greed costs discipline. Impatience costs opportunity. The market does not punish you because it hates you. It punishes you because it exposes you. It exposes your lack of preparation, your lack of rules, and most importantly, your lack of emotional control. Fear makes you exit too early. You cut your winners short because you are scared the profit will disappear. You don't trust your plan. You don't trust your analysis. You trust your anxiety. On the other side, greed makes you stay too long. You ignore your stop loss. You tell yourself, just a little more. And that little more often turns into a painful loss. The millionaire trader understands that both fear and greed are natural. He does not try to eliminate emotion, that is impossible. Instead, he trains himself not to obey it. Emotional control is not built overnight. It is developed through repetition, reflection, and responsibility. A wealthy trader journals his trades. He reviews his mistakes without anger. He studies his patterns. When he feels panic, he notices it. When he feels excitement, he notices that too. But noticing an emotion and acting on it are two different things. He creates rules strong enough to protect him from himself. Position sizing rules, stop-loss rules, entry criteria, exit strategies. These rules act as guardrails, keeping him steady when emotions try to push him off the road. As Jim Rohn often emphasized, you must learn to govern your mind. If you do not control your thoughts, they will control your actions. And in trading, uncontrolled actions lead to uncontrolled losses. The millionaire trader works harder on his mindset than on his indicators. He understands that the chart is neutral. The market has no feelings, it simply moves. The chaos exists inside the trader, not on the screen. True power in trading comes from calmness under pressure. When others panic, he evaluates. When others chase, he waits. He knows that opportunities are endless, but capital and confidence are not. By mastering his emotions, he protects both. And over time, this steady, disciplined response compounds into something extraordinary. Because in the end, wealth in the market is not awarded to the smartest trader. It is awarded to the most emotionally controlled one. Amateurs trade for today, millionaires trade for the decade. That single shift in perspective changes everything. The amateur wakes up thinking about today's profit. He checks the charts with urgency, looking for fast movement, quick gains, instant validation. His focus is on the next few minutes, the next few hours, maybe the next day. But the millionaire trader operates differently. He is not building income for the moment, he is building wealth for the future. He understands that true success in trading is not about one big win. It is about sustained performance over many years. The millionaire trader understands compounding. He respects it. He knows that small, consistent returns, protected and reinvested wisely, can grow into extraordinary wealth. He does not chase 100% in a week because he knows that reckless speed usually ends in disaster. Instead, he aims for steady growth. 5%, 10%, month after month, year after year. He knows that compounding is quiet in the beginning. It looks unimpressive, it feels slow. But over time, it becomes powerful beyond imagination. Patience is his greatest advantage. While others are bored and overtrading, he is waiting. While others are jumping in and out of the market, he is sticking to high probability setups. He understands that not every day is meant to be traded. Not every movement is an opportunity. Sometimes the smartest move is no move at all. That patience protects his capital and sharpens his discipline. Wealth, he knows, is built slowly, then suddenly. At first, progress seems small. The account grows but not dramatically. Doubt tries to whisper. The world celebrates fast money and overnight success. But the millionaire trader does not measure his journey against social media highlights. He measures it against his long-term vision. He asks himself a powerful question before every major decision. Will this decision matter 5 years from now? That question filters out impulsive trades. It eliminates emotional decisions. It forces him to think like an investor, not a gambler. Short-term excitement is seductive. A big win creates adrenaline. A risky trade that works out can feel like genius. But excitement is temporary. It fades quickly and often leads to overconfidence. Overconfidence leads to oversized positions. Oversized positions lead to unnecessary risk, and unnecessary risk destroys long-term progress. The millionaire trader is not addicted to excitement. He is committed to consistency. Discipline is permanent. It is not flashy, it is not loud, but it builds foundations that cannot be shaken easily. When markets become volatile, the disciplined trader remains calm because his strategy is designed for the long run. When losses come, and they will, he does not abandon his system after 2 bad trades. He understands that results must be evaluated over months and years, not days. This long-term vision creates emotional stability. It reduces pressure. It turns trading from a desperate chase into a strategic mission. The millionaire trader is not trying to prove something today. He is trying to build something that lasts. And because of that mindset, he makes decisions that align with growth, protection, and sustainability. In the end, the market rewards those who think beyond the moment. Those who respect time. Those who trust the power of compounding and patience. Because while amateurs are busy chasing excitement, millionaires are quietly building empires. A millionaire trader is obsessed with protecting capital. Not because he is fearful, but because he is wise. He understands a truth that most beginners ignore: money is his inventory. It is his ammunition. It is his business foundation. Without capital, there is no opportunity. Without protection, there is no future. While amateurs focus on how much they can make from a single trade, the professional focuses on how much he is willing to lose if he is wrong. That single shift in thing separates gamblers from wealth builders. He does not ask, "How much can I make?" He asks, "How much can I lose?" That question forces discipline. It forces planning. It forces humility, because every trade carries uncertainty. No strategy is perfect. No system wins 100% of the time. The millionaire trader accepts this reality instead of fighting it. He builds his entire approach around it. Before entering a trade, he knows exactly where he will exit if the market proves him wrong. There is no guessing. There is no hope. There is a predefined stop loss, calculated position size, and controlled exposure. Survival is success. That may not sound exciting, but it is powerful. If you stay in the game long enough with smart risk management, probabilities begin to work in your favor. But if you overleverage, overtrade, or ignore risk, one bad decision can erase months or years of progress. The market does not forgive arrogance. It punishes carelessness quickly and without emotion. You cannot win long-term if you do not stay in the game. Many traders experience early success and mistake it for skill. They increase their lot size too quickly. They risk 10%, 20%, sometimes 50% of their account on a single idea. And when the market moves against them, as it eventually does, the damage is devastating. Confidence capital disappears. And often so does their trading career. The millionaire trader risks small. Often just 1% or 2% per trade. To the amateur, that seems too conservative, too slow. But to the disciplined trader, it is freedom. Small risk means emotional stability. Small risk means one loss does not create panic. 10 losses in a row, while unlikely, would still leave him standing. That is power. At the same time, he thinks big. He understands asymmetric reward. He looks for setups where the potential reward is 2, 3, or even 5 times greater than the risk. He does not need to win every trade. With proper risk to reward ratios, he can be wrong many times and still grow his account. That is the mathematics of professional trading. It is not about being right all the time. It is about structuring trades so that when you are right, you are rewarded properly. The goal is not to win every trade. The goal is to never blow up. Losing trades are business expenses. Catastrophic losses are business killers. The millionaire trader eliminates the possibility of destruction through discipline. He respects leverage. He respects volatility. He respects uncertainty. In the end, risk management is not just a technique, it is a philosophy. It reflects patience, humility, and long-term thinking. Protect the downside relentlessly, and the upside will take care of itself. Because in trading, the first rule of wealth is simple: stay alive. Most people are addicted to results. They open their trading platform and immediately focus on profit and loss. Green numbers bring excitement. Red numbers bring frustration. Their mood rises and falls with every candle. If they win, if they lose, they feel defeated. Their confidence depends on the last trade. That emotional roller coaster is exhausting, and over time, it destroys discipline. Millionaire traders are different. They are not obsessed with the outcome of a single trade. They are obsessed with the process that produces long-term results. They understand that trading is a probability game. Even the best setups can fail. Even the strongest analysis can be invalidated by unexpected news or sudden volatility. Because of this, they do not judge themselves based on whether a trade wins or loses. They judge themselves based on whether they followed their rules. They follow their system after a loss. They do not suddenly change strategies because of 2 or 3 losing trades. They review, they adjust if necessary, but they do not abandon structure out of emotion. They also follow their rules after a win. This is where most traders fail. A big win creates overconfidence. It whispers, "You figured it out. Increase your size. Take more risk." But the disciplined trader resists that temptation. He treats a win the same way he treats a loss, as one data point in a long series. Because they understand something powerful: one trade means nothing. A single trade does not define skill. It does not define intelligence. It does not define potential. It is simply one event in a long journey. But 100 disciplined trades, that means everything. When you execute your strategy consistently over a large sample size, patterns reveal themselves. Strengths become clear. Weaknesses can be corrected. The edge begins to show. This mindset removes emotional pressure. Instead of asking, "Did I make money today?" the millionaire trader asks, "Did I execute my plan perfectly?" If the answer is yes, he considers it a successful day, even if the trade was a loss. That level of emotional maturity is rare, but it is necessary for long-term growth. Consistency builds confidence. When you know you are following a tested process, you stop second-guessing every decision. You stop hesitating at entry. You stop exiting too early out of fear. Confidence does not come from winning streaks, it comes from disciplined repetition. It comes from knowing that you can trust yourself to stick to your rules. Confidence builds clarity. When your emotions are stable, your thinking becomes sharper. You see setups more clearly. You avoid unnecessary trades. You focus on quality instead of quantity. And clarity builds wealth. Because clear thinking leads to better decisions, and better decisions compound over time. In the end, process is power. Outcomes fluctuate, profits rise and fall. But a strong process creates stability in an unstable environment. The millionaire trader understands that success is not built on emotional highs. It is built on disciplined habits repeated again and again. Master the process, and the results will follow. Self-accountability is one of the rarest traits in trading, yet it is one of the most powerful. The market is not wrong, the news is not wrong, your broker is not wrong. The spread, the volatility, the sudden reversal, none of these are personal attacks. The market simply moves according to forces far greater than any one trader. A millionaire trader understands this deeply. He does not waste energy blaming external factors. He understands that blame feels comfortable, but it produces no progress. When a trade fails, the amateur looks for someone or something to accuse. The market manipulated. The news ruined my setup. My broker hunted my stop loss. These statements may feel satisfying in the moment, but they prevent growth. Because if the problem is always outside of you, then the solution is outside of you too. And that leaves you powerless. The disciplined trader takes a different approach. If a trade fails, he reviews it calmly, not emotionally. Not defensively, calmly. He goes back to his entry. Did it meet his criteria? Was the risk properly calculated? Did he follow his plan exactly? Or did he bend the rules slightly because of impulse? He journals every detail, not just the numbers, but his thoughts and emotions at the time of execution. Over weeks and months, this journal becomes a mirror. And that mirror reveals patterns. Maybe he notices that he loses more trades when he enters out of boredom. Maybe he sees that after a winning streak, he increases position size too quickly. Maybe he discovers that he ignores his stop loss when he feels certain. These insights are gold. But they are only available to those who are honest with themselves. Excuses destroy growth because they protect the ego instead of improving the skill. Responsibility, on the other hand, creates power. The moment you say, "This loss was my responsibility," something shifts inside you. You move from victim to creator. You realize that if your decisions caused the loss, then better decisions can create gains. That realization is empowering. Self-accountability does not mean harsh self-criticism. It does not mean calling yourself a failure after every mistake. It means being objective. It means separating emotion from evaluation. A millionaire trader understands that losses are tuition. Every mistake carries a lesson, but only if you are willing to see it. When you take ownership of your losses, you earn the right to your future gains. Because ownership forces improvement. It forces discipline. It forces humility. And humility keeps you teachable. That market is a strict teacher. It rewards those who adapt and punishes those who repeat the same errors. Over time, this mindset builds emotional strength. You no longer fear losses. Because you know you will learn from them. You no longer feel attacked by the market, because you understand it as neutral. You focus on what you can control: your preparation, your risk, your execution, and your mindset. In trading, excuses may protect your pride today, but responsibility builds your wealth tomorrow. And those who choose responsibility consistently are the ones who rise above the average and step into true mastery. The biggest transformation in trading does not happen on the charts. It happens in identity. Strategies can be learned, indicators can be studied, risk management rules can be copied. But identity, the way you see yourself, determines how you execute everything. A millionaire trader does not simply change his system, he changes his self-image. He no longer sees himself as someone trying to make quick cash. He sees himself as a wealth builder. He does not wake up thinking, "I hope I make money today." Hope is fragile. Hope is emotional. Hope depends on outcomes. Instead, he thinks, I am building an asset machine. That statement carries responsibility. It carries structure. It carries long-term vision. An asset machine is not built in a day. It is designed, tested, refined, and protected. It requires patience and precision. When you see trading this way, your behavior changes automatically. He sees trading as a business, not a lottery ticket. A gambler looks for excitement. A business owner looks for systems. A gambler celebrates random wins. A business owner tracks performance, controls costs, and improves efficiency. The millionaire trader tracks metrics: win rate, risk to reward ratio, drawdown percentage, monthly growth. He treats his account like a company's balance sheet. Every decision is calculated, not emotional. Because he identifies as a professional, he invests in learning continuously. He reads books. He studies market cycles. He reviews historical charts. He learns from other disciplined traders. He understands that markets evolve, and so must he. Education is not an expense, it is an investment in his future earning power. While amateurs search for shortcuts, he builds skills. He also studies psychology deeply. He knows that the greatest risk in trading is not volatility, it is himself. He analyzes his emotional triggers. He works on patience. He practices detachment. He understands that self-mastery is more important than market mastery. The more control he has over his impulses, the more consistent his performance becomes. Energy protection becomes a priority. He does not overtrade when tired. He does not force trades when emotionally drained. He understands that clarity requires mental strength. He exercises. He sleeps well. He maintains focus. Because a tired mind makes expensive mistakes. A clear mind makes precise decisions. This identity shift changes everything. When you see yourself as a wealth builder, you stop chasing quick wins. You stop risking everything on one opportunity. You stop looking for validation from others. Instead, you build quietly. You grow steadily. You measure progress over months and years. Success is not something you chase wildly. It is something you become through daily habits and disciplined thinking. When you become the kind of person who follows rules, manages risk, controls emotions, and thinks long-term, success becomes a natural outcome. It is no longer random. It is no longer surprising. The millionaire trader understands that wealth begins in the mind. Once the internal transformation happens, the external results follow. Change your identity, and your decisions change. Change your decisions and your results change. And over time, that internal shift turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. The market rewards discipline. It rewards patience. It rewards emotional strength. If you want millionaire results, you must develop millionaire psychology. It's not about the charts. It's about character. Work harder on your mindset than on your entries. Master yourself, and the market will follow. Because in trading, just like in life, the ultimate victory is self-control.